All right, welcome back to episode 4 of Same Shik, Different Day. I am your host, Shik Soto, and joining me today is my co-host, Justin Metzger, a.k.a. El Guero. How you doing, bro?
Let's go, baby. Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl weekend, man.
Go.
We are excited for Super Bowl, but we are also sad because after the Super Bowl, we don't got no more football. Well, at least the season starts in September, and we got a few things to look forward to during the summer, but I mean, we're not going to have it for a few more months, man. So a little heartbreaking, but Super Bowl is going to be a banger.
Yep. Maybe my team can be some off season.
That makes me sound like I'm a Niner fan, which I'm not, by the way. No, Let's repeat that. Super Bowl is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. I think the country's on the Niners, though, but as a Pacific Northwest native Seahawks fan, you would not catch me rooting for the 49ers over my dead body.
I'm torn, man.
I am on Mahomes. Not very many teams you'd catch me rooting for Mahomes against, but this is definitely one of them, along with maybe Cowboys. Cowboys.
You gotta always bring up the Cowboys on Same Shik, Different Day, man, because with them it is the same shik, different day. But anyways, man, I know last week we didn't really have a big update on your Tinder, so is this going to be the final update with touchdown? Did you get penalty?
We fumbled.
Oh,
she did say it was a 50-50 chance, but
shit. Well, okay. Hey, well, you know what? The season ended, and maybe she'll be back next season. So
if Melvin Gordon could stay on a roster as long as he did with all of his fumbling problems, I think I still got a good shot. And
he actually fumbles by the goal line too, which is what it sounds like.
That's pretty. Sounds like I did something a little bit similar.
Ugh.
So
man,
we'll get him next time.
Yeah. You got like 4 months to kind of go to training camp, recoup, and we'll get at it next season, bro.
Work on those hands.
Yeah. Man, so that was kind of a bye week last week. No football, but we did have the Pro Bowl. We had a couple things we can talk about. But just like we do every episode, let's get into some news on our teams. I'll go ahead and start because last week was Jim Harbaugh week, baby, and he had his press conference, which went great. He's got me fired up, ready to run through a wall. He's a winner, and I'm just excited for what he's going to bring to the table for the Chargers, bro. But also, he's putting together a staff that is looking really good so far. So I mentioned last week Jesse Minter was his DC for Michigan. He was bringing him over. It's been confirmed, but he hasn't hired just yet. I think there's some things they're still working on as far as the contract. But it's sounding like he's going to officially be our DC, and he had the top-ranked defense in college football last year. So I know I thought you were going to bring up the Huskies real quick there, but still hurt. You're still hurting.
Well, yeah. So I was actually reading a little bit ahead there. Mike McDonald looking to hire former UW offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Might be a little bit of redemption for UW fans, Seahawks fans. Team's been completely pillaged. We'll see what next year looks like, but it might just be a little bit of silver lining if he could hire Grubb, bring him to the Seahawks, and just kind of a new, younger mind to kind of, go in a completely different direction from Pete, and just kind of see what the new team looks like. But I'm excited for next year. I think it'd be a good hire.
Ryan Grubb goes from the University of Washington. Then he was going to go to Alabama, right, to be the OC there.
Yes.
But now Mike McDonald is poaching him back over to Washington State to now be the OC for the Hawks.
Yes, and you'll appreciate this one. Looks like we could have a new special teams coach coming in. Our very own Jay Harbaugh.
Yeah,
who,
man.
The nepotism is not strong in the family, and he was not given the job by Jim. So we'll happily take him here in Seattle and maybe get. It's been a while since we've had any punt returns or anything like that for a touchdown. It's been since Tyler Lockett's rookie year since we've had anything exciting happening on return. So maybe he can mix things up on that as well.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, Charger fans, we were hoping and waiting for this news. And Jim's, he's a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? So he could have hired his son to be our special teams coordinator, but he understood the fantastic job that Ryan Ficken has done with the Chargers, our special teams unit was terrible for years. I mean, we couldn't find a kicker to save our life, and we couldn't get no TD, no punt returns, kick returns, anything going. Our special teams couldn't tackle. But the last, I believe it's the last 2 years that he's been with the Chargers, he's turned that unit around, man. And our special teams has been one of our strongest units of the team itself. So I'm glad he kept Ryan Ficken. Shout out to him. He's still with the team. And a couple other coaches that he's hired to or is going to hire is Greg Roman, who we don't know exactly if he's going to be the OC yet. Speculation is that he is going to, or at least be some portion of the offense. But he was with Harbaugh as the OC when he was coaching the Niners, and back when he was coaching Stanford, and he had Andrew Luck. So I'm excited to have him. He's known for like really running the ball, and that's what Jim Harbaugh wants to do, which is a rumor that's kind of building around the NFL right now, is that he wants Saquon Barkley. So if we can get Greg Roman to handle the run coordinating duties or the rushing duties, and if we end up getting Saquon Barkley, man, it could be a little different, even though, Herbert's got that cannon of an arm. It could be a different team.
Running backs seem to be making a little bit of a comeback in value again.
Yep.
Nice to see those guys getting some positive attention, because we all know last year was a big topic of thing that anybody can play running back. So I like to see some of these guys get the respect that they deserve.
Oh yeah. And you know what, man? I mean, I thought about it, like, Chargers are known for, like, being injury prone. And if we end up signing Saquon Barkley, who is known to be injury prone, it's just not. But you know what? 2 negatives could make a positive. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Maybe
right?
He's got it out of his system.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he did play a full 17 last year.
Yeah. I mean, could be a bounce back year for him for sure. I would say it wouldn't be a bad bet.
Yeah. I mean, last year, bro, he let's see. It looks like he was 962 yards total in rushing. So he was, little under 40 yards shy of 1,000, but he did had 280 receiving yards as well. So
he missed a few games as well, right?
I think he played all 17. Yeah, he played all 17.
Did he?
Yeah,
he played all 17.
Yeah,
I thought he missed 1 or 2.
Mm-mm. He might have got knocked out in the game, maybe, but he started all.
Got it.
All right, man. So yeah, coaching updates. So we talked a little bit about the Chargers there. We talked about the Hawks a little bit there. Let's talk about some other teams, because all the roles now are filled. Commanders, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, Dan Quinn to the Commanders. Very interesting one here. I'm very curious if Dan Quinn fell to the Commanders or if Mike Macdonald fell to the Hawks, sort of thing. Like who was taken off the market first? I'd be really interested to see which one of those two was really the number one pick for the Hawks and potentially even the Commanders as well. Maybe we'll know, maybe we'll never know. But I feel like the Hawks wanted Macdonald, and I think Dan Quinn kind of just fell at the bottom of the carousel and kind of landed with the Commanders, is the way I think it kind of shook out.
And I think it worked out for you guys too, because the media and then everybody else was like, oh, Dan Quinn's for sure going to be the coach for the Hawks. But then, boom, you guys ended up hiring Mike Macdonald, which I actually like a lot better. I don't know how Dan Quinn's going to actually do second time coaching as a head coach. Obviously, he had a little success with Atlanta, but he has one of the biggest Super Bowl chokes on his resume. And then the way that he went out with the Cowboys this season too is not a good look. So wishing him the best. A little interesting nugget there too is that he's not hiring or keeping Eric Bieniemy, which is crazy given Eric Bieniemy's history of not getting interviews or not getting the opportunity to be a head coach the last 6 seasons now. It feels like forever. It feels like every year Eric Bieniemy is a hot topic. I believe he deserves a chance. If we don't hire Greg Roman as our permanent OC, I would love him to come to the Chargers, man, because what he did with Patty and the Chiefs and what he was able to do with Sam Howell and the Commanders last season, even though they didn't have the success that they wanted, he still was able to put up numbers. And Sam Howell was
top five in passing yards.
Yeah. At one point he was leading the league in passing yards. So that's I wouldn't mind Eric Bieniemy on the Chargers, is what I'm saying.
They weren't bad. Commanders were not a bad team offensively, for sure.
Yeah.
But defensively, they got a lot of work to do.
Well, I'll rebuttal
probably why
that.
Dan Quinn is the guy coming in there. So.
Yeah, I'll rebuttal that a little bit because I had Sam Howell in fantasy and I needed him the last couple of weeks and he was ass. So, but it's not all on Sam Howell. He was also the number 1 sacked quarterback as well in the league. So, we got a little bit of Raider update, right? We didn't talk about the Raiders last week on their coaching hire. So let's get into that a little bit. They hired, they kept Antonio Pierce, who was their interim. And obviously, I think he went 4-2 or 2-4. He got a couple wins, and he got a big win against Patty too towards the end of the season. And I believe he beat the Broncos. So he's got a couple division wins, and then he also destroyed the Chargers. But we'll save that for a different day because I have a theory behind that. The most interesting thing here, though, is that they hired Tom Telesco as their GM, which is the Chargers GM for the last 11 seasons.
Built out some pretty good rosters, though. I know you were ready to move on, but I mean, Chargers have never had a shortage of talent on the field. So
we just had a
make
shortage.
An argument for why Tom got rehired so quickly.
Yeah, we just had a shortage of coaching.
You have had no shortage of coaches, just shortage of good ones.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, man. The thing that we didn't like about Tom Telesco, a lot of Charger fans, is that he just wasn't like super aggressive as far as moving up and down the draft. He was a big believer about building within his picks. So he would draft players, try to build, and not really move up or move down in the draft. He did a few times, but with in the 11 years that he was with us, I can remember maybe 2 times where he actually moved up the draft. I think it was for Kenneth Murray and Melvin Gordon, possibly.
Oh, two-time appearance on the show today, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, right. But so what I'm just going to tell Raider fans is don't get your hopes up that he's going to be aggressive in the draft. He doesn't like to move up or move down really. So, and he doesn't like to do in-season trades, which is crazy because everybody's always said the Chargers have had talent. We've never had depth. And when we're making moves during the season and building ourselves to go to the playoffs, he wouldn't make any moves to add to the roster, which was stupid in my opinion. Be ready for that.
In his defense, the Hawks have made several in-season trades throughout my years as a fan, and almost none of them were ever successful.
Yeah, but I mean, that shows that you're trying. Like we've never had depth. And not to even try to bring somebody in mid-season to help, especially with all the injuries that we go through. Like, what was it, 2 years ago? We didn't have Keenan or Mike Will for pretty much the whole season, and he didn't even bring in a vet or a free agent to bring a mid-season or try to make a trade, to try to add depth to the wide receiver room.
And meanwhile, we got the 49ers adding McCaffrey for a second rounder.
Oh my God, I know.
Life isn't fair.
No, it's not. It's not. But yeah, so the funny thing too with the Raiders is this just happened recently. They were all pumped because they're going to hire Cliff Kingsbury as their OC. And he pulled a Mike McDaniels on them and just says, psych, going to the Commanders, baby.
Maybe take another trip to Thailand.
He said family, trust, respect.
Yeah, he doesn't want to coach a bunch of felons there in Vegas now. I almost said Oakland. Oof.
Oh yeah, no. That's when they're real ones.
Yeah, that's where their roots. That's where their roots are. Yeah, I think he probably realized he wasn't working with too much. Devontae Adams, as soon as he gets to the tail end of that contract, is out of there as well. So,
bro, I was actually listening to some people talk about Cliff Kingsbury's time with the Cardinals, and they were saying that he actually didn't really know how to use DeAndre Hopkins. So what do you think he's going to do with Devontae Adams?
How do you not know how to use a top 5 receiver?
Yeah, I mean his numbers were not that great.
Me in my armchair right now. Give me Devontae Adams. I feel like those guys just put him in motion and let him go out there and play and get him the ball.
Yeah, that's the problem. They weren't really, opening up D-Hops and, moving the ball down. I mean, it seems like the Cardinals never really progressed in their offense when Cliff Kingsbury was the head coach. So
how much of that is on Kyler Murray though, and not necessarily just Cliff? So
yeah, but Kyler's got the talent. Cliff was his first time being a head coach in the NFL. So
is he still getting paid from that job too? I think they might still be paying him out for that.
I mean, he's still got money too, because where did he go? He went to
Thailand, so somewhere in Southeast Asia.
So he still got a lot of his money left.
Took a couple of years off. He's ready to coach again.
No, he was actually with the. There's another interesting thing about Cliff Kingsbury. He was actually with the OC, I believe, for USC last year. So
that's right. Yep.
Him going to the
their
Commanders.
Offense was, so Caleb Williams, their offense looked fantastic. That defense was one of the worst in the nation, though. So,
so they're saying, word around the sewing circle again is that the Commanders might be trading up for number 1, and that's why Cliff said F the Raiders, and let me go ahead and coach Caleb Williams again.
Quarterbacks. It'll be a good offseason topic for us. Yeah. Quarterbacks, where they're going to land. A lot of teams need quarterbacks. So.
Oh yeah. And in other news about football, the World Cup is coming to us.
To the United States of America.
America.
That is correct. Yeah, we have 13 games here in the Pacific Northwest between Vancouver and Seattle. Really, really cool. Would love to get to one of those. I know the atmosphere is going to be crazy. I think there is at least one USA game guaranteed here in Seattle too. So I imagine the ticket prices for that are going to be outrageous. But just being in the atmosphere, going down there would be really cool. And kind of get to be a part of something I've never experienced before. Yeah. So I'd love to at least be down there and kind of feel the energy of everything. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but we love sports here on the show. So
no, yeah, same. I'm not a huge sports fan, but I watch the World Cup, and I've been told if I ever go, outside the country, Europe is one that I've heard is crazy to go watch a football game or a soccer game. Down Mexico, I would love to go again in Mexico to go watch Mexico play. So I mean, for them to come to the US, I'm definitely gonna try to go. We should try to see when tickets go on sale or.
Yeah, you can follow for updates. I know they just put something out, so you can follow. Maybe we can put that link up here. Follow where you can send your email and they'll give you updates on ticket sales.
Sick. Yeah, I need to see too because I'm a season ticket holder for the Chargers, and SoFi always sends me emails about like events coming up. So I got to see about the World Cup. That might be one that they don't offer us because it's such a big event. But that'll be cool because they have the quarterfinals is actually going to be at SoFi Stadium, and also Gillette Stadium in Boston, Arrowhead, Kansas, and then the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Semifinals is going to be in AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and then the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and then the final is going to be in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. Which,
how did they pick MetLife for the final?
Bro, there's
the whole world watching, and they pick New Jersey.
There's a bunch of memes going around right now where they're like people who aren't from the U.S. in New Jersey.
What
like,
the fuck is this piece of shit?
We'll find someone, we'll put them on. But I don't know how they picked MetLife. I heard that stadium is actually not the greatest. I don't want to talk too much shit about it, but that's just word around the campfire is that it's not a great stadium, and the turf. I think they use turf there, but I did hear that for the World Cup that they're going to make every stadium have natural grass, which they should do for NFL games as well.
Yeah, big shift back to grass. The field turf was popular for a long time, but it seems to be causing more injuries. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's the exciting World Cup in the U.S. So we'll get ready for that. Little Pro Bowl action this weekend. That's about the only football we got besides some coaching news.
Did not watch the game. I am boycotting the Pro Bowl. It is.
Well, man, actually, I like the skills competitions. Right?
I didn't say the skills competition. Yeah. I said the Pro Bowl. It's a joke.
Yeah, the flag
the
football.
Skills competition is cool. If you watch old highlights of like the old Pro Bowls, guys were actually out there playing. Like,
what's that famous hit from Sean Taylor?
yeah, and yeah. I mean, I don't know. I
think he knocked the QB down, right?
But final score 64-59. So college score there.
So this is funny. The precision passing competition, which is the QB competition, Tua came in dead last, and Baker actually won it. It was him and CJ, going head to head, and Baker won. And Baker was also the MVP of the flag football competition for Sunday's game. So Baker, you better get paid this offseason, baby.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big contract. Who's getting paid more, him or Kirk? Kirk's up for contract as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Kirk's probably gonna get more, but I think
Kirk just knows how to.
I think he knows how to. Kirk knows how to get a big contract for sure.
Yeah,
I think their contract's gonna be closer than people think, though.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get over 40 because that's what Danny Dimes got. He got, I think, about 40 a year. So I could see Baker getting 45. Roughly.
When will they ever learn? I think they have. I think there's a song with that title.
All right, man. And then Dan Orlovsky, he's a analyst that's grown on me. I actually really like Dan Orlovsky's takes. He actually had the best score for the precision passing. And Dan Orlovsky is well known for stepping out of the end zone when he was the backup for the Detroit Lions back in the day. And I think it was like his first start, and he like ran out of the end zone and was out of bounds. So, but he's got an arm still. He's still got a nice little cannon, and he got the best score. So take that for what it's worth, huh? Let's get into our Parlay Boy Bets now, Metzger. And we got it's Super Bowl weekend, so we kind of went a little ham on the bets today. And obviously we are in Washington State, so that means that we can't actually bet from home. So we're showing you screenshots of what we are going to do, but we're going to place our bets probably either Friday or Saturday. And so the lines may change, in the next couple days. But we're going to show you what the lines are today and what we're going to bet. But before we get into our Super Bowl bets, I want to talk about my golf bets that I did for this last week. None of them hit, of course. That's been kind of my haven't been hitting lately since we started the pod, but that's going to change. That's going to change. Nick Dunlap, man, this is a cool little tidbit. I don't know if you know this, Justin, but he was the amateur that won the PGA Tour. I brought him up last week. But because he was an amateur, he actually didn't win any money. And I didn't know that. I didn't know amateurs can't win money, or there's a rule set because he's still in college as well. But because he went pro, and this is his first pro debut this last weekend at the AT&T Pebble Beach Tour, he got dead last. And I said, hey, let's take him to make the top 10. Made dead last. But here's the crazy thing. He won the PGA Tour back in January as an amateur, made zero money. And he got dead last at this tour last weekend, but he made $32,000. So it just kind of goes to show you what how much golf pays and how much money there is in golf.
Yeah, everything evens out. Yeah, unfortunately, my waste management guy pulled out of the tournament.
You lost before the tournament even started.
I think
bro.
you get the bet back in
Okay.
this case. Xander Schauffele has, along with Kevin Holland, are. Am I saying that correct? And Holland. We'll just go Holland. They both are Victor. Sorry, Victor Hovland.
Victor Hovland.
They both have withdrawn from waste management, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to target someone new. So you're gonna have to put a pin in that one for me.
Yeah, we'll make some waste management bets on the weekend as well, and we'll put them up so you guys can see. But let's get into some Super Bowl bets because it is Super Bowl weekend, and we are excited for this segment because we're gonna show up. We're gonna show on the screen our bets, and then we got a couple videos that we're gonna show too of some people giving us their Super Bowl predictions. So let's get into our bets first, Justin. So which one do you want us to pull up?
So let's start with probably the biggest bet I'll be placing. As of now, Casey is 2-point underdogs. I am looking to buy 1 point and get the Chiefs +3. Get a decent chance of a push there. Chiefs could win outright. Just think there's a lot of value. Even if the Chiefs go down, it just feels like it has to be a close game. I'm hoping that line moves a little bit up. If I could get even a little bit more value there when I lock it in, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Two's crazy because obviously I think it's going to be a field goal game. So if you go Chiefs points but they lose by 3, you're done. Or if you pick the Niners to cover the 2, but Chiefs win by 3, you're done. So
yeah, it's not a good number. For sure.
Yeah.
And you can see you lose quite a bit of value here buying that point. But as I've learned, winning something is a lot better than, or even pushing is a lot better than losing. So I'm willing to give up a little bit of value sometimes for that.
Yep. So it's -153 at the moment if you take the 3.
Yeah, that'll change if we get an extra half point. Or if it goes to -2 +2.5, it should be a little bit juicier.
Yep. So here's my 2-leg parlay. I'm going with the Chiefs points. I think they're going to win. So I may actually just switch that over to the money line at +105. It'll bump up my my odds, but I also picking the over at 47.5. I think the game's going to end at 27-24 Chiefs. And that's going to put it right over the over. So what is that? 48-49.
Interesting stat I found is that over the last, I think 56 or Super Bowls or so, it's been an even split between the over and the under.
Ooh,
Exactly
50-50.
dead even. So it is a literal coin flip on the over under.
But like I said in last week's episode, I am not gonna bet against Patty. So give me Patty and the Chiefs all day, as much as that pains me to say. Also, man, like think about it, like if Patty loses to Mr. Irrelevant, to Brock Purdy, it's gonna be a big story.
The new Brady.
Yeah.
The new Brady.
Yeah, I don't know if
it's a win. It's a win-win.
The new Brady's gonna be Patty, bro.
it's a win-win for the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
They can push a narrative with either of these teams pretty well. So.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's get into some player prop bets. I'll start off. I really like the Rice anytime TD at plus 130. You're getting money there. He's their best wide receiver for the Chiefs, and the Niners, I think their weakest part of their defense is their pass defense. So they're secondary. So I'm going to go ahead and ride Rashee Rice anytime TD. I know, Metzger, you have a Debo.
Yeah, for the Niners.
Where's it at? There it is.
I like Debo total yards rushing and receiving over 79.5. I think he's going to get at least 3 or 4 carries. Good chance he could break one of those. And then, leave him with about 55, 60 yards to cover in the receiving. He's just the most explosive player, I think, on the Niners, beside on the receiving corps, I should say. Maybe McCaffrey might have him beat in that regard. So I like the total there for Debo over.
I think the Niners are going to run the ball a lot because the Chiefs, that's their weakest part of their defense, is their rush defense. So I like this bet. I'm actually going to take Debo's rushing yards themselves. Excuse me. I like him to get a couple carries, like you said, but it's at 16.5. I think 1 or 2 carries. He could just break one off, like you said.
I think he's going to break one off in the game at some point. I feel like one big one.
Oh, yeah. And speaking about rushing yards, you like Patty's rushing.
I love it, man. Mahomes 25.5, but this number's actually down than it's been. I've been looking to bet this during the playoffs, but it's been up in the 30s for most of the game. So it came down a little bit for this one. And, Mahomes is going to get him a couple first downs on his own. So I really like Patty to hit the over on that. It's the Super Bowl. There's, you're not holding back for anything.
No, not at all.
And he's gonna run if he needs to this game.
Oh yeah. And then there's one that we like here is the McCaffrey rushing attempts at 18.5. That is a little high, but it's the Super Bowl, and again, the Chiefs defense. The worst part about it is the rushing defense. So I think they're gonna lean on McCaffrey a lot to get these rushing yards to kind of kill the clock, especially if they got the lead at any point in the game. And I also love to do special teams props. So I got a little field goal kicker prop here. But Buckner to kick 2 field goals, which goes into my total score. So my prediction was the 27-24 Chiefs win. I think Chiefs scored 3 TDs with 2 field goals, and that would get them to 27. And I do like the value there at minus 115. And he's also one of the better kickers in the league. So I'd put my money on him over Moody any day. Moody's known to miss extra kicks and
Moody's
or extra
been
points.
Pretty inconsistent.
Yeah,
for sure.
And also, like, let's see, me and Justin, we had this theory that we came up with about first TD bets. They usually play pretty high, and so we were thinking, we're like, man, would DraftKings let us pair or parlay a first TD bet with a 2 TD bet, which they do, which is interesting. So if you take Travis Kelce to score the first TD of the game at plus 750, and you parlay that with him to score 2 TDs in the game, you're going to get plus 1,700 value, which is crazy. So we're going to test this theory out. If he does score the first TD, then his chances of scoring 2 TDs in the game would go significantly up. And so we like those odds. We're going to take this bet. And I know Justin's final bet leads into that.
Yeah, Travis Kelce, Super Bowl MVP. I feel like if he gets 2 touchdowns, he's almost a lock. I know Patty's the favorite, as you can see here on screen, but if Kelce has even a sniff at should be getting the MVP award, the NFL is going to want to give it to him with all the new Swift fans watching. I mean, just the amount of attention that it's going to put positive on the NFL, that I think if he's even in the hunt, that they are going to slide that award to him. So I think there's some value there. Doesn't mean it's going to hit. He's got to put up numbers. But if there's even like people are saying, oh, Kelsey should get it, he's getting it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if there's one non-QB that's going to get it, I think it'll be Kelsey.
Yeah.
Plus, this dude's an animal in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, he's been man, he did not have a great year, but he is on in the playoffs. He's like kind of rejuvenated for the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's get to the last part of the show here. This is exciting. It's the first time we've done this. We reached out to some people and just said, hey, send us your Super Bowl predictions. We gave you guys ours, and now we're going to let you guys see some of the Super Bowl predictions that we got. So let's go ahead and share a couple of these, and we'll go ahead and react as well.
All right, guys. Super Bowl 58 is this weekend, this Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. All right. Who am I going with? It pains me to say it, but I'm going to have to go for number 23 and number 23 only, just because he's helped me out in fantasy. But Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers. I guess we'll see.
That was our boy Justin. He's going with the Niners, unfortunately. But hey, his reasoning, I like his reasoning though. McCaffrey helped a lot of people in fantasy.
I'm guessing Justin's a Hawks fan.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I mean, obviously the 49ers have a great team, but like we said earlier in the episode, you wouldn't catch me dead rooting for those motherfuckers. But he justified it. McCaffrey is a beast. No matter how you feel about anything, who's not a Christian McCaffrey fan?
Yeah,
the dude's a friggin' animal on the field.
All right, next up is my cousin Chando. Let's see what he's got to say.
Another Niners fan here.
I believe so.
Oh, 27-31. The 49ers win the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
All right. That's not bad.
A realistic score. I'll give him feels a little high to me. 27-31 feels a little on the high side, but I think a pretty realistic outcome. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got Illis. He was our first guest. He sent in his, and we all know he's a Niner fan. So let's see.
This one's gonna be bullshit.
49ers are the best, and the 49ers will win. Quest for 6, let's go. I'm saying 35-42. Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners.
45-45. Let's go Niners.
45-45, no.
45-44.
She says 45-44. We win by 1 point.
All right, we had a special appearance there by Aurora. I love it. Hey, that wasn't that bad. It was pretty realistic for Joe.
You're supposed to say the higher team score first. All right, 35-42. Who says the score like that, my guy?
Just noticed that.
I know they're not used to winning Super Bowls down there, but you got to coach them up on how to say the score right. So was it 42-35 Niners is the prediction there.
Yep.
And Aurora got 45-44.
Yep. See, she said it right.
So Aurora's got the Chiefs covering.
Yeah.
Covering with the +2.
All right. Next up is Compatino.
Predictions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby. Come see me if you want to bet.
All right. We got Tino there. No score prediction, but he's picking his Niners. He's also a Niner fan. Tino, we're going to have to talk offset here, and we'll make a bet, and we'll let the people know. But I'll take you up on a bet there.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have no problem getting action on that.
Oh yeah, man. He's been coming up. I see him on Snap always says he's like, who wants to make bets? And people have been making bets all playoffs, bro. So I know he's been cashing out. All right, let's see. Next up we got Steve, cousin Steve, baby.
Niners 2 touchdowns a quarter, full throttle the whole way. That's 8 touchdowns. You do the math. Kansas City's going down.
Bro, come on.
He thinks we can add up those kind of numbers.
Yeah, man. I don't think Steve could do the math there, bro. But hey,
Maybe that's why he asked us to do it.
All right. So you said 2 TDs a quarter, bro. That's all right.
8 touchdowns.
Yeah, 8
times
touchdowns.
6.
Yeah, because we know Moody can't score extra points, so we'll just go by 6. 8 times 6 is what? We can't even do the math. 45? No, 50. What? All right, whatever. They're gonna score over 40 is what Steve is saying.
48? 48 points?
Maybe, yeah.
48
You're
points.
the math
We're
guy.
smart here on the Same Shake Different Day show.
We're smart. We're numbers guys here. All right. Well, Steve's got the craziest prediction so far.
That's about what I expected from Niners fans.
All right, and last but not least, we got cousin Juan. Let's see what he's got to say.
110, baby. Niners by 21. Let's go.
All right. A little slow-mo action there, but
We couldn't. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
We couldn't get one Chiefs person on here.
We couldn't get one Chiefs besides us. We're the ones going for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess does that leave? Well, let's go over his prediction first. 31-10.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't think that's not happening, bro. Sorry.
Find him an alt line to bet on. With
Yeah.
That one.
Oh yeah. If you got the alt line on that,
that should pay pretty good.
Yeah. What's the alt line on 30? Was that 20 to win by 20 plus?
It's got to be plus 700 or 800 at least.
At least, yeah. Oh, all right. So we got nothing but Niner fans there, huh?
Well, we can. What's your prediction, Schick? Let's hear it. We're gonna have our bets and stuff, but who's winning? I mean, what do you think the score? You think you kind of mentioned it earlier?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I think it's going to be 27-24 Chiefs. I think Chiefs cover. I think the over hits barely, and it's going to be, I think each team. I think it's going to start off slow. I think the first half is going to scare us for those who are betting the over. I could see like a 10-7, or 10-14 type first half. And then I think they're gonna beef it up on the second half and start to score a little more points in the second half and make it more interesting.
Yeah, I'm liking a lower scoring game. I'm not betting the over under, but I like the Chiefs about 24-20 somewhere. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think there's going to be some turnovers. I think there might be actually some scores early, first drive or two, but then I think the teams are going to lock in and things are going to slow down. It feels like it has to be a good game. It's really hard to see either team blowing the other one out. So it can go either way, and I guess we'll have to see day of. Watch the game. We had a great. If it's as good as the last couple Super Bowls have all been pretty good. So hopefully we get another good one.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game, and sad that football is about to end. But let us know what your guys' picks are. Put them in the comments. Tweet them. Share them with us. Let us know, and we want to see you guys hit. Also, last week we did mention that if you guys hit any crazy parlay bets or any type of crazy bets, go ahead and send them over to us, and we'll share it. Our boy Fernando is who we want to shout out this episode. Oh, it's sideways, but let's see. I guess we'll add it in post production there. But he hit 2. Let me bring up the photo real quick. He hit 2 different parlays. One was a 4-leg and one was a 5-leg, which is pretty insane.
Sounds like you might want to go to him for your picks,
right?
Of this
show. I told Fernando we're gonna go with his bets, man. But yeah, so one was 4 parlay. He bet $50, won 400, and the other one was a 5-leg parlay where he bet 25 and won 367. So congrats to you, Fernando. Those are 2 big hits. Keep it up, man, and share whatever other bets you hit, bro. Because so far you've had the hot hand. But besides that, guys, we'll be back with you guys next week after the Super Bowl, and we'll let you know how our bets hit and let us know what you guys chose. And again, thanks for following us. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and good luck on your bets, guys.
We'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.